You thought you had it all figured out, but now everything's falling apart. What will you do? The one thing you're afraid of is the very thing that will save you. Will you trust it? You're at a breaking point. Every step you take could lead you toward redemption or destruction. The love you've been seeking has always been within reach, but you've been too afraid to grab it. What if everything you've been told is a lie? Are you brave enough to uncover the truth? The journey you're on is far from over, but will it end in peace or chaos? Every time you close your eyes, the truth gets harder to ignore. Can you handle it when you finally face it? There's a part of you that wants to give up, but deep down, you know you're not meant to quit just yet. The hardest battles are fought in silence, but can you hear your own voice amidst the chaos? You've been searching for answers, but the truth is something you might not be ready to face. The closer you get to the truth, the more it pulls away from you. Are you willing to chase it? You've always had the strength to fight back, but now it feels like you're losing yourself in the struggle. The storm within you is building. Can you survive its fury, or will it consume you? Every choice you've made so far has led you to this moment, and now you must decide how it ends. You think you've reached the end, but what if this is only the beginning of your real journey? The one thing you're terrified of is the one thing that could change your life forever. Will you face it? It's easier to ignore the truth, but how long can you keep your eyes shut before it finds you? Your heart knows what it wants, but your mind is holding you back. Which one will you trust? You feel it, don't you? The pressure, the pull, the inevitability of what's about to happen. You've been pretending to be okay, but deep down, you're falling apart. When will you face it? The past keeps chasing you, and the future feels uncertain, but it's in this moment that you must choose. Every lie you've told has created a fracture. Can you patch them up before it all crumbles? The fear that's been holding you back is finally catching up. How will you confront it? There's a price to pay for everything, and you're about to find out what yours is. You've been living in a dream, but now the reality is more terrifying than anything you've imagined. What if everything you've been afraid of is just a reflection of your own doubts? How do you face them? The darkness you've been hiding from is closer than you think. It's time to shine a light on it. There's a choice to be made, and every path leads to something you're not ready for. Which will you take? You're holding on to something that's slowly destroying you. When will you let go? What if the thing you fear most is the thing that will ultimately set you free? Your soul has been calling for change, but are you willing to answer the call, even if it's terrifying? You've been walking a tightrope for so long, but one misstep could send everything crashing down. In the quiet moments, the truth becomes unbearable. Will you run or will you stand your ground? You're at a crossroads, and the weight of your decisions is heavier than ever. Which way will you go? The clock is ticking, and every second brings you closer to a choice you can't undo. How will you decide? There's a reason why you can't escape it. The truth has a way of catching up no matter how fast you run. You've been ignoring the signs, but now they're too loud to ignore. Can you handle what's coming? Everything you've feared is starting to come true, but you have the power to change the outcome. You thought you were in control, but the universe has a way of reminding you who's really in charge. The past is calling you back, but it's not the version of yourself you want to remember. You're standing at the edge, and everything you've known is crumbling beneath your feet. The moment you've been avoiding is here. Will you embrace it, or will you run from the truth? What if everything you thought was a setback was actually the universe pushing you forward? You've been waiting for a sign, but what if the sign has been inside you all along? The deeper you dive, the more the darkness envelops you. Are you ready to face what's waiting below? You've been fighting against it, but what if the key to your freedom lies in surrendering? Every moment you delay is another step further from the life you've been dreaming of. What if you've been living a lie? Can you handle the truth when it finally shatters your world? The walls around you are closing in. Can you find the courage to break free before it's too late? You've been seeking peace, but what if peace comes only after the storm? The love you've been searching for might not look like what you expected. Are you ready to receive it? You're going to regret ignoring this message. Don't let it slip away, because it's too important to miss. The truth is right in front of you, but will you choose to see it? There's something darkly beautiful about what's happening. Imagine, just for a second, that everything you thought you knew was wrong. How does that feel? You've felt it too, haven't you? That pull, that something deeper calling you. But what does it mean? If you could change one thing, what would it be? Maybe it's not too late after all. There's a moment in everyone's life that defines them. What if this is yours and it's slipping away? There are things we can't explain, but we can feel them deep inside. Are you ready to face it? Why does it feel like something is haunting you? It's time to confront your fears and let go. You think you've seen it all, but there's a darkness behind the curtains, waiting to unravel everything. The weight of the world is crushing you, and yet it's only the beginning of a new chapter. What happens next? Is it possible to love and hate at the same time? Because right now, that's what's tearing you apart. You've been running from it long enough. Now it's here, staring you in the face. What will you do? You thought you were in control, but now the lines are blurry. Do you trust yourself anymore? What if you could have everything you've ever wanted, but it came at a price you couldn't afford? Every choice you've made has led you to this moment. Can you stand by them, or will you regret it? They say time heals all wounds, but what if some wounds were never meant to heal? There's a storm coming, and it's going to change everything. Are you prepared to face it? You've been told that love conquers all, but what if the truth is much darker than that? It's easy to lie to ourselves, but deep down you know the truth, and it's suffocating you. There's a part of you that wants to break free, but what's waiting for you on the other side? You've been holding onto this for far too long. It's time to let go, or it will destroy you. Do you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders? How much longer can you carry it before it breaks you? Everything you thought you knew about love, trust, and betrayal is about to be turned upside down. You thought you were safe, but now the darkness is creeping closer. How will you survive? In the silence, your heart is screaming. Will you listen before it's too late? Everything has led to this moment of decision. What will you choose, and what will it cost? The truth is more complicated than you can imagine. Are you brave enough to uncover it? You've seen the signs, but you've been ignoring them. Now they can't be ignored any longer. What if the one thing you've been running from is the one thing that can save you? You can feel it, can't you? The tension, the pull, the undeniable force driving you forward. The lies you've been told are unraveling, and the truth is far darker than you ever thought possible. A part of you knows it's time to stop running, but the other part is terrified of what you'll find. What if you were given a second chance? What would you do with it? You're standing on the edge, and it's all about to fall apart. Will you take the leap? The pain you're feeling is just the beginning. Can you endure what's to come? The choices you've made have led you here, but the path ahead is a mystery. Are you ready? There's a reason your heart races when you think about this moment. Something is about to change forever. Every secret, every lie is crashing down. Can you handle the truth that's waiting for you? You've been told everything will be okay, but the reality is much more complicated. It's time to face your worst fear. Will you conquer it, or will it conquer you? In the quietest moments, you can hear your soul crying out. What's it trying to tell you? You fought so hard to get here, but now you're at a crossroads. Which path will you choose? There's a fire inside you that's burning brighter than ever. But will it consume you or set you free? You're not as invincible as you think. One wrong move could shatter everything. The past is holding you captive, but you don't know how to break free. What will you do? The storm inside your mind is louder than ever. Are you ready to face the chaos within? The pressure is mounting, and you can't run from it any longer. Will you face the storm head on? The world is changing, and so are you. But is it for better or for worse? You've been numb for so long, but something is awakening inside you. Can you control it? The cracks in your life are starting to show. How much longer can you keep it all together? Every decision you make echoes through time. Can you live with the consequences? The silence is deafening, but you can't bring yourself to speak. What's holding you back?